Hello and howdy, everyone. Here to talk about the Alfonso Cuarón film, Children of Men. Hopefully I'm not butchering Alfonso's name. Recently, I watched Gravity twice in the theater. Same director, same writer, Alfonso Cuarón. This is an earlier work of his. I think it's pretty much the work, it came out in 2007. I think it's the work before Gravity. I'm not sure he did a film in between. I guess he doesn't really have to because he makes genius sci-fi films and he can take his time. Children of Men in some circles is considered to be one of the best films of the decade. I'm in no position to argue with that. I'm giving it a solid 9. I thought it was remarkable. This is the third time I've seen it. Saw it in theater, rented it and watched it, and then I just didn't see it again. I don't know why. I don't have an excuse for that. But after watching, I was going to watch it again after, I can't remember what magazine it was. It may have been the AV Club, which is the Onion's entertainment. You know, the Onion does fake news, but yet they're... They do fake news, they do fake sports, they do fake headlines. For some reason, they take their entertainment, their television and their film and their music very seriously. And they're not funny at all when they talk about their art reviews. I think it was them. They called Children of Men. They put out, the greatest films, the top 50 films of the aughts, the double O's. And Children of Men, I believe, was in the top 3. If not, number 1. I couldn't believe it. And I kind of wanted to watch it when they did that, but I didn't. But after Gravity blew me away, I knew I needed to see Children of Men again. And Children of Men is quite an accomplishment. I loved it, even more than I remember it. I have no problems giving it a 9. In many ways, I think it's superior to Gravity. I would tie them. Even though I gave Gravity a 10, it should be noted that 10 was a theatrical experience in the 3D, what have you. If I had seen Children of Men again on the big screen, perhaps I'd be giving it a 10. Or maybe when I see Gravity on the small screen without the 3D, I'll give it a 9. But they're basically tied. They're both tremendous sci-fi films. And both sci-fi films, I like to think of sci-fi genre being divided into 2 main categories. And that's one, science fiction fantasy, and the other being science fiction eventuality. One is, again, like Star Trek, Star Wars, something fantastic that could conceivably happen, somewhere in another galaxy far, far away. Where science fiction eventuality is based in, where we're at in life, our current technology, trying to reach for something in the future, but yet make it to be as authentic as possible. And I think both of Cuarón's science fiction films would fit under the eventuality banner. It's not fantasy by any stretch of the imagination, especially this one, I would say. The film is about infertility. Women have stopped producing babies, and that's it. Once we're not having any new humans, so once the last human goes, then so does humanity. And this is, they find one pregnant woman, and this is basically the film, the story of protecting her, and making sure that her baby, the hope for humanity, is safe and secure. What impressed me most, and what has stuck with me since watching it, is the massive amounts of detail you get about this world. This film breaks one of my rules of thumb. A general rule of thumb for me is that the more people who write a script, who are credited for writing a script, the more diluted it becomes. The less pure, quality goes down. The more hands in the pot, the quality goes down. There should be only one chef. There should be one chef, and he makes all the calls. Here you've got, a bunch of hands in the pot trying to get this story. It was originally a novel. I'm not sure who wrote the novel, but the way I look at it is maybe a couple of those guys, because I believe there were 6 credited screenwriters, including Alfonso Cuarón, on this film. And I'd have to think that at least 2 of them were solely dedicated to bringing all of the detail from the novel and packing it into the script somehow. Not focusing on dialogue, not focusing on, the arc of a character, but putting in the script the detail of the world around them. Because you get so much detail of the world and the situations and the problems that the people in this world are dealing with, that you almost don't need to waste time talking about it. You don't need to know, because if you look at the action going on around them, if you pay attention to the televisions in the background, if you look at the headlines in the newspapers, if you just pay attention to all the detail, you'll get all your answers. I mean, it's a sumptuous visual feast, that provides so much detail that they don't need to waste time in exposition, explaining anything. It was just, that's what really struck me, is how fully realized the world the film presents is. It just feels lived in. It feels like, this is almost a documentary of this alternate reality and place and time. Because it's all right there. It's all right there just to be seen. All the acting is good. You've got Clive Owen. You've got Michael Caine. You've got Julianne Moore. I always butcher his name. I don't even want to say it. Chilawa Ejiofor, the African actor, just recently in 12 Years a Slave. He's good here. Who else is in the movie? I guess those are the biggies. Clive Owen is protecting. I don't know the young black lady's name who is the savior of humanity. I don't know her name. She's really good in this. All the production design is great. The direction is brilliant as well. There's long tracking shots, very Kubrickian. They're just long, unbroken tracking shots that would have been just a pain in the ass to block and to make sure everything goes right. Even in battle scenes, there's long tracking shots. It just keeps you right there. It keeps you like you're in there in the action, and that, kind of like in Gravity, like something bad could happen to you. And you want everything to go well. You don't want these people to be hurt, but yet there's, incredible amounts of danger all around. I don't really know what else to say other than I was blown away. I was blown away. I had kind of forgotten, and wow, it is really good. And what bowls me over is that attention to detail and how, usually movies based on novels suffer, in terms of detail, in terms of filling out that world that, a book does so well. A book will explain what the air smells like. A film doesn't do that. But it almost does it here. It almost does it here. There's just so much detail to be seen. And with brilliant direction, fantastic acting, there's just not much wrong with it. There's just not much wrong with it. It's easily one of the better science fiction films in recent memory. And I think just like a true statement of talent from Alfonso Cuarón. And now that he's made Gravity, it's like, wow, now we can't, deny him. He's one of our great directors now, and he's done so by making 2 films. He hasn't made only 2 films, but in his last 2 films, he's established himself as, one of the foremost filmmakers on the planet. I don't really know what else to say. I think I've said it all, just that I love it, and I think it's fantastic. If you haven't seen it in a long time, definitely rent it, especially if you just saw Gravity. It's very, kind of similar in terms of direction style, and especially that mastery of tone. He pulls you right into the story, and his tracking shots, his blocking, his cinematography, it's all, anything technical is rather fantastic. And usually when something technically fantastic, is there, the story isn't all that, The story can't support the weight of all this, technical brilliance. But here, no, that's not the case. The story is just bedrock solid, and thoroughly thrilling and enjoying and intelligent and, insightful. It really speaks to, again, the truth and nature of humanity. So I just think it's a fantastic and important film. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I need to say, right? So yeah, okay. There's Alfonso Cuarón's Children of Men. Brilliant film. I'll give it a solid 9. Thanks much.